All right, it's 5 o'clock. We're broadcasting. All right, welcome everyone to the Planning Commission meeting, Mayville City Hall, March 19th, 5 p.m. Please take the roll.
Gene,
Right in the corner of this side, so.
Gene? Yes, here. I'm sorry. I'm hearing it.
then John Gable. And we have Andy Schumacher and.
Here.
John Helen. And Brock is not here yet.
We do have a quorum. Item number 2. Take a motion to approve today's agenda.
Make a motion to approve.
Motion by Frings,
Second.
second by Colomer. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Agenda is approved. Item 3, are there any citizen comments? No citizen comments. Item 4. I would take a motion to approve the minutes for the February 27th, 2024 Planning Commission meeting.
I will move to approve the minutes from February 27th.
Motion by Colomer, second by Frings. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Item 5, discussion regarding potential property use for 15 Bridge Street, parcel 251, 1216, 23, 14-072. Current owner is Drinkwine Commercial Rentals LLC. As I understand it, the building is up for sale. It's the building adjacent to the bridge there. And it has a conditional use, and the person who is purchasing, are you
Yes.
interested in purchasing that building?
I just said yes,
Okay, so I think your question is whether we will honor that conditional use.
for a detail / dealership.
Okay,
Well, this would be for a new conditional use.
a new conditional.
You'd have to file for a new conditional use.
Okay. So whereas the other, so prior it had been used mainly for, as a tire store, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Auto repair.
Auto repair and tires.
Yeah.
Okay.
And what are we looking at?
And so instead, so the auto detail, auto repair,
And dealership.
and selling some.
Yeah,
used-
like detailing cars and stuff like that.
Okay. Have you looked into just like parking and everything else? And one of the things. that
It's
we-
not gonna be a big,
Okay.
lot. And, probably have between 5 to 10 cars at most.
Okay. I haven't walked that lot, but there's room behind the building. would you-
Yes,
Okay.
yes, sir.
As long as there's not tires back there.
As long as not tires. Okay, so there's the 2 issues that the city had in the past was with tires and debris being stored on.
Yeah,
the
that'll be
lot.
all cleaned up.
Okay.
And taken care of.
And then the second issue is just overflow parking.
Yeah,
I've
I see some pictures, they had cars on the street and stuff like that.
Yeah,
No, everything would be on the lot and picked up and, painted,
okay.
so.
And you're aware of the process to go forward with obtaining a new conditional use?
Yeah, I spoke to.
So basically, the use hasn't changed a whole lot. We're still talking about auto.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
The only thing that would be changing would be the auto sales. I don't believe that was done there, so.
No, that never has been.
But that is part of, covered under conditional uses then too,
Right.
as you can see in the packet there. For new and used auto agency network is listed, so.
Anybody see any issues?
The only question I have would be, I don't know how long Drinkwine had his thing there, but I don't know if he was like grandfathered, but is the DNR gonna have any issues with
No, I
being right on the road?
talked to the DNR today.
Okay,
So.
just with
everything-
chemicals or whatever cleaning stuff.
Yeah, that was taken care of back in 1993.
Okay,
I'm gonna say that's even before.
they changed a lot.
Yeah, 1993.
Before.
They cleared it. And I was shutter poster and then environmental statement.
Okay. I wanna, just let the record show 5:04 PM. Brock Fleischer is present. Brock, thanks. So have you already made an offer on the property?
No, I haven't.
Okay. Anybody see any issues with, I mean, so I don't have any concerns based
I don't
on
have
what
any
he's
issues.
describing.
Continue on, no.
Thank you.
Yeah. So Neil, just continue to work with the engineer
Okay.
as we get your conditional use application process started.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay, good.
Thank you.
Good luck. What's that?
There's no.
There's no motion. All right. Item number 6, discussion, approve proposed site plan review for 211 River Knoll Drive, parcel 251-1216-1413-009. The owner is NWC Properties LLC. Are you here for that project?
Yes.
All right. So would you like to give us kind of an overview? Or,
Sure, I can. I'm Roger, the applicant for the project. I got with me Cody, co-owner, and then Nathan, who's the contractor for the project. What it is, it's just a small office building underneath me under 25,000 cubic feet. It's going to be used for communication office. You're going to probably have maybe a few people that are be attending or going to the office, a few customers, I should say, so we somewhere between 6 and 8 full-time people that will be employed there.
Yeah.
Want to add any more?
Well, that pretty much covers it.
this is a C-Light,
It,
location?
yeah, Northwest Cable will be there as well.
Got it, okay.
We did a site plan review, but evidently it didn't get in the packets. I must have missed.
All right, do you have it available?
I think I have it in the office.
My question is, that site, I thought was gonna be Northwest Cable, and when it was sold in the TIF district, they're supposed to add so much value. Are we getting anywhere close to what this should have been? We did an awful lot of space for a 3,000 square foot building.
So is this a part of TID 3 back before it was closed out, like some years ago?
It's
Right.
which the time element will start, that's good.
Yeah.
then.
So I don't seem to have the prints for that either. Tammy sent it to you for Northwest Cable. So we did a site plan review. There was some, I believe that was sent to you guys into, there's some additional information that we were looking for. And I think Don had talked to you about some of the other stuff too, so.
Yeah, there, I got some other questions that I'll direct either to you or whoever did the review, Zahor.
Yep.
So, and I know Don,
Yep.
he also answered, one of the questions that I had, that we don't need to worry about any on-site stormwater and drainage because our, developed area is under 1 acre.
Correct. Yeah, we don't need to do an NOI then. So.
But I know there's some other details and I have questions that I'll direct to Kunkel to verify some stuff. But they had pretty much stated that they're okay with the addition of stuff that, or additional details, lighting, the sign.
Yep, our recommendation
Yep,
was a conditional use pending the stuff that was in the letter.
Yep.
That they addressed that.
So has every aspect of the review been complete, like fire and all that?
Well, that would be, has Rob reviewed everything and issued permits yet, or?
No, I have not, no, I have not finalized the plans yet. This was a real basic,
Yeah.
planning commission, so I have real basic floor plans, elevations,
Mhm.
site stuff
Yeah.
for this review, and, once this has been approved, then we'll continue on with construction documents.
Got it. So you are here on behalf of Northwest Cable?
Yeah.
You're putting buildings, okay.
wasn't there not a right of way, forward right of way coming through the corner of that, or did we addressed something with that when Northwest bought it, didn't we?
We did.
Or doesn't it?
There is an easement, the lot's like shaped
Yeah.
like an L,
Okay,
and there's an easement at the L going from this corner
Okay.
to that corner.
yeah.
And but that's also pretty significant drop off at that point, so it's not like they can put a building.
I haven't really looked at it closely, yeah. And then there's nothing that affects our water department with
Their easement,
it's the water department, does
it's
it?
a different spot.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
Do you have that review letter handy? Just that cover sheet that you can,
Do I have the cover sheet?
yeah, that, for the. Just take a glance here, so everybody's aware of. So there's some stuff for the utility demand section, so you just needed to fill that stuff out,
Right.
part of the application. Now there's parking stalls and. Very from the application.
Merlin, are you suggesting that originally when that land was purchased, there was a
Was there anything?
condition upon the value of what you were putting value
I just
inside?
gotta look at some of it, I'll get back.
Yes.
But how do we,
Still working on this, and I just got this.
That'd be a file, sure.
So I was supposed to do the last week, but whoever was said that they won't be knowing. So I did it right away.
Okay.
You got the land for like $1 or whatever.
Right.
If
Your
in the
building is-
agreement, you were going to add value of X number of dollars, and I don't remember all the details.
sure,
Remember
how much land is involved? Is it?
Well, if you brought 225,000, I think it was, then you would be able to purchase the property for $1 an acre.
An acre, right?
I think it was like, this thing is about 17 acres, isn't it?
Well, that could very well.
Thank you.
That was the original, I don't know.
Yeah,
I'd have to go back to see how long ago
I
it
don't
was.
remember what the time frame was of that either, if there was one.
It's supposed to be 3 years, you had to do your.
This predates me, Cody, do you remember when this land was purchased?
I don't remember off the top of my head.
Was it more than, say, 5 years, was it?
I don't believe so. DJ would know though.
Okay.
I'd say 3 years. I'm thinking.
Yeah,
I thought it was going right around when we were doing the 1 acre lots.
Oh, it was well before that.
yeah,
It was going before that.
I didn't, I was part of the agreement with whoever commission didn't get involved in the dollar details.
Right.
all right, so the issue is that we need to check the records and go back to what the original sales agreement had stipulated. So in the business park area, we have historically issued an incentive to where we'll sell $1 per acre. So long as the improved value exceeds 325,000.
225.
225,000. And the city gets
Assessed value.
an assessed value.
Improvement.
Yeah,
Right,
the assessed value and the improvement.
yeah.
So what we need to verify is 225,000 times 17 acres? Is it 17 acres that we're talking about?
I think that's what it is.
So do you have access to the original sales agreement?
I do not.
Okay. All right.
You have a time frame for this soon as possible, or?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it'll be this summer.
I'll be in by first of July,
Well, we're trying to get it
end
done.
of June.
We don't wanna, talk about the necessary delay, but we do need to verify. some
Yeah,
information.
yeah.
What's that?
Is our zoning and everything here, is this all otherwise compliant properly? We all good here?
Yeah, it's all out in the letter here, so.
I'm good.
So there's two ways you could approach it. You could approach it and say you approve it with the stipulation that so long as as long as it complies with what was laid out in the original sales agreement.
Or, Brock, to
Yeah.
answer your questions on the back, under the conclusion and recommendation. The zoning.
So I think that'd be the fastest. I mean, that way we, so long as everything is fine with what the way that the original deal was structured and buying the land, we could approve it pending, and then just verify a couple things over the next couple of days, get the old files, and so long as the valuation issue is met, as long as it fits the criteria of what the original land sale agreement was.
Do you guys have an idea of what this is gonna bring for assessed value to the property? Have you done an evaluation on?
I don't believe so, no.
So I would take a motion for conditional approval, subject to just verifying the original purchase agreement.
I would still move.
Okay, motion by
Do
Pring,
you wanna add in that everything you have in the review letter to be addressed then too?
and yes, so, okay, contingent upon it meeting the criteria of the original purchase agreement, and also subject to the letter details.
So how does this play out? So you guys have checked that? report
Yeah,
out over the
we'll have
next-
that verified, and
Okay, and let's say it doesn't meet the criteria.
if it doesn't meet the criteria, then we've got to figure out a way to address it.
Yeah.
A little bit bigger.
I would think it would be
And it's either
payment in lieu of.
payment in lieu of or something.
Yeah.
If it doesn't, then you gotta, like you just said, you gotta figure out something.
We gotta figure out what would.
I'm assuming that this would be taken care of within the next few weeks, or are we taking
Yeah, so-
months down?
I think we'd have all the information by the next meeting
For sure,
and take care of it, yeah.
Okay,
which would be the 16th of April. And we may not have to come, I mean, again, I think over the next couple of days, we'll find the original purchase agreement. We'll be
Yeah,
able to
by that
verify
meeting.
and be fine. We may not even need to have another
Okay,
meeting, So what we don't want to do is slow you down. But we gotta
We
make
appreciate
sure
that.
that we're following what the original agreement was.
okay. So we'll know something here in a couple.
Yeah, in a couple of days. Yep.
Perfect.
Nick, would you please, you'll research that and all the original. Okay. All right.
Awesome.
Okay, so the motion has been made by Frings.
A decision would be able to be made before the next meeting.
Possibly, hold on, so he's asking, a decision can be made before the next meeting, but that's not necessarily the case here, correct?
If the original purchase agreement terms are met, right, meaning the valuation, so long as the valuation requirement is met, we can validate that within a couple of days, and there's no need for any additional meetings.
Well, I can tell you if it's 220.
But if it doesn't, then we certainly need to meet again.
Okay.
And we can talk, I will have you work with the engineer over the coming weeks. We'll work out the details so that that meeting on the 16th will be productive, right? So, I mean, we can still keep the wheels in motion,
Okay,
right? So the way that we structured the motion, we're granting approval, subject to it meets the conditions of the original purchase agreement on the land, and also subject to the requirements listed in the Tonko letter. Gene made that motion.
Second.
Okay, Brock Fleischer, second. Any further discussion on that? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, that carries. So long as the next couple of days we validate the original purchase agreement, it complies with what that agreement was, then there's no need for an additional meeting.
Okay.
If we find out that there is an issue, work with the engineer, we'll identify what the issue is, right? Somehow quantify it, and then we've got to figure out what a solution is, and work with the engineer. We'll look at options A, B, and C. And then we'll meet on the 16th and hopefully be able to wrap it up, prior to that.
So I just looked at the county website, the CSM was prepared and done for that property in 21, and then I'm guessing it was purchased in 21.
Okay,
Because there was a land split for that property
sure.
at that time. I'm guessing it was purchased in 20, so I don't know if that falls under.
Well, we're gonna get a copy of the agreement.
Yeah.
Okay. So I stand by what I said. Next couple of days, we'll know, we'll pull that sales agreement, we'll know. If there is an issue, we will let you know. I would be able to work with you over the phone or meet you here at City Hall and discuss different options. It's just everything's then got to get approved by the.
If there is an issue, the next meeting in April, that pretty much is a rubber stamp.
It would be, yeah, pretty much, right? So my thought would be, we'd still work on it in the meantime.
Right.
And then I would make my recommendations to the planning commission at the
Yep.
next meeting and, so at least
I just
that would be
wanna-
a minimal delay.
Just want to make sure that next meeting and there's, even though that these guys have worked with everybody, the city, with the
Yeah.
engineer.
Yeah.
And you don't want to come back and say, oh, no, we're
Nope.
going to say no.
No, no, that's not gonna be, that's not gonna be an issue. I mean, this is a formality. I mean, we've got to make sure that we follow what was
Yep.
originally agreed upon in the land purchase agreement. But I don't see any issues or concerns with the building itself. There's gonna be a valuation. There may be an element of what the valuation needs to be. And like maybe Gene had mentioned, payment in lieu of taxes or whatever it is. I mean, we could restructure it so that we kind of meet what the intention of the original agreement was.
Mhm.
Does that make sense?
Perfect.
Yep.
Cool. Thanks, guys.
All right, thank
Thank you
you.
for coming in. So like I said, I mean, you should be able to have that within the next couple of days, right? You'll be able to pull
That
that.
would be probably in the clerk's files.
Okay. All right, well, cool. Yeah, thank you. Item number 7, discuss with possible action regarding the proposed development of two lots on Hilltop Drive, lots 251, 1216, 24, 23, 041, and 251, 1216, 24, 23, and 042. The owner is Michael Bachhuber. I don't think Mr. Bachhuber is here.
No, I tried to reach out to him this afternoon too, and I think I through.
Okay, I'll take a motion to postpone till April 16th.
Motion you wanted?
Yeah.
I will make that motion.
Okay, motion by Palmer,
I'll second.
second by Frings, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion to postpone to the next planning commission on April 16th. That was a motion by Palmer, second by Frings. Item 8, and again, this is related to Michael Bachhuber, so the same motion, postpone till 4/16.
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Shoemaker. Second by
I'll second it.
Frings. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right, postpone to 4/16. Item 9, discuss with possible action regarding a DOT update to the urban area maps for the city of Mayville and surrounding areas. Do we have an update on that?
So I did talk to Nolan this afternoon. He has not gone through everything yet. He was looking to see about what the boundary description detailed, but he believes that at this point, he believes, I mean, what was originally agreed upon is that 60 days after the trial ended, that the city had a chance to annex those properties in.
Yeah,
After that point, then they were also, Village of Kikoski was also able to annex that in.
right.
Don't know if the property owners were ever notified that they could start the annexation process, but that's where they're sitting. So they're either gonna be annexed into the city of Mayville or the Village of Kikoski.
Okay, and we got city attorney working on that?
We're reviewing everything, yes.
Okay, so it'd be appropriate to, again, postpone item nine. No? No?
So we at least need to discuss what the map's showing. Because when I talked to Nolan, in order to meet the DOT's timeline of getting a resolution approved by the common council by the June date that they want it, we'd have to review everything with the map, make sure everything's good, draft a resolution to be approved at the next common council meeting to then be sent to, or, draft a resolution to be approved at the next plan commission meeting to be sent then to common council for approval in June.
Right,
So at least I'd like to have some discussion then with the rest of the map. I mean, we'll end up, I'll contact DOT and we'll end up having to know if those 4 parcels are either gonna be Kikoski or Mayville, city of Mayville. Sure. So the rest of the areas, I guess, are open for discussion. I guess whether you see any issues with that.
as I recall, we looked at the map last time, there was still questions about. Like, we were waiting on more information about specific properties, weren't we?
I think it got brought up about the town of Williamstown and don't know if there was much other discussion had regarding the other areas of question that they have there. So I mean, they have the 4 parcels there. So the items number 1 and 1, 11, and 10 are the ones to be for the annex product.
During this packet?
Yes. So yeah, the draft map that in back there. Item 12, I mean, that's always been planned for development. There was supposed to be that apartment complex and storage facility, which I don't see an issue with.
Yeah.
Item 8, I mean, that's the incorporating industrial park. It does incorporate some areas along the river that I don't think are developable. I don't know, if anybody would be interested in building lots there, building a house, so I mean, that's something to be covered in there. I don't remember who owns that area, what municipality it's in.
Isn't that part of the
park? Is that the park?
Which number are you talking about?
8.
Yeah.
So this would be along the river, between, Kikoski and the river. They have that in the map. I don't know if that's even buildable.
Yeah, isn't that Ziegler over in this area?
Yeah, I think it would be.
So they incorporated the park into it.
Cause that's the water treatment down here. Right? I'm looking at this, right? That's like the water treatment area and this is Ziegler up in here.
Yeah.
You go around this whole river, you walk in front of it.
I'm guessing then they're considering parks to be urban area then, so. That's why they're incorporating that.
Yeah.
It's a little different kind of park, but yeah, it's,
And you got the baseball field and you got the mulch pile. And a lot of people out there walking always.
yeah, so.
On this side of the river, other side of the river is industrial park area.
Mhm. For item 7, Slade Road, urban or rural, yeah.
What does it
I'm s-
matter?
What?
What does it matter?
Well, they're using this map as part of a background to, funding. So if they consider it an urban area, there's a different funding. It goes through a different funding than as if it was rural.
I see.
So when they're asking about Slag Road, whether it should be urban or rural, I mean, that's on the municipal boundary right now.
Well, our side of Slag Road, that's all being developed as business park and, you know, like the Northwest Gate and stuff, and that's urban. Right,
To me, it should be.
urban.
Okay.
Yep. Do you need to vote on that?
Well, that'd be something we'll end up having to revise the maps, and then as part of the resolution that we approve at the next meeting, we'll have the reference maps to go along with it.
Sure.
So,
When we say Slag Road, we're talking about Mayville's side of Slag Road.
correct, so
Yeah.
like,
Right.
I think they're talking about the overall Slag Road. I know that's split down the middle
Well,
because of the different
ours, I mean,
jurisdictions.
county flags.
Yeah, county wise, got it.
What does this mean, in the upper right-hand corner, Village of Kikoski exclude any in this area? And be adjacent to,
Section 5. That's what you're talking about? Is it number 5 right in front of it?
So,
number 5, yeah,
number 5.
and there's another place too, same thing. Number 10.
Trying to figure out what.
So that is, part of the Village of Kikoski's property along German Street that they're looking at as possible developable area.
Okay.
So this has also been sent to the Village of Kikoski for them to review. And I have not heard anything back from them, so,
Village of Kikoski.
Does any of that affect our, I'm not gonna say agreement, disagreement with,
Yeah.
the
well,
village?
this would be, I guess then, if they decided that
Are
they
we
wanted to keep
conceding
that.
to them that they, won?
Well, no, it would classify that area as urban, so if they ever wanted to redo that road and apply for funding, you would have to go for the urban area funding that they would be then,
Okay.
instead of the rural.
Are any of these areas gonna be points of contention?
Don't believe so, I mean. It's just tough, cause I mean, the stuff for Village of Kikoski, I don't know what they're gonna do, I don't know whether they reached out to the DOT contact to address those. I will have to follow up with Tom at the DOT and see if something has been done there. I know for right now, it's mainly just the city of Mayville's concerns that, I mean.
Well, my looking at it, make sure I'm not looking at it the wrong way, but you've got that burgundy line around everything.
Mhm.
That's considered to be Mayville's urban area. You've got a section within that boundary in the upper right, item 5. That says, do you want to exclude any of that area? I think our position would be, that's inside our urban area.
So we don't want to exclude it.
Why would we exclude it?
Yeah, but in fact, I mean, as of now, then we lose all our extraterritorial rights.
Correct.
And it means nothing.
I mean, if we've lost all our territorial rights, that's one thing, but we shouldn't concede
Yeah.
stuff that's already in the actual.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Let's, once we say that,
Yeah, we're not doing it.
the next judge will say, well, you agree to it,
Right.
automatic.
So why don't we just say it's include?
Yeah.
Everything inside the
Everything-
Burgundy,
Or Burgundy.
everything inside the Burgundy line, we include.
Because then we get down to the south portion too, then for 3 and 4. I think that's more of a question for Kikoski, because that's in their limits.
Mhm.
Whether they want to make the state highway 67 rural and then the other portion between the municipal boundary and the urban and air boundary that they show outside that proposed.
So based on the conversation, I would think it would be appropriate to entertain a motion to consider on this Mayville urban area, adjusted urban area boundary map draft, the motion to consider everything inside the burgundy line on the map as shown. The adjusted urban area boundary of Mayville.
What about adding number 7, because you gotta pick urban or rural? Which is rural, we were just talking about.
Well, that's for Slade Road, whether you want to
Right.
consider it an urban or
Did you wanna add that?
rural street.
I would
I
consider
think that
Slag
should be
Road
a
as,
separate motion.
That
Yeah.
separate motion, okay.
So I will make the motion
okay,
to include everything within the purple line.
motion by Colomer,
To be urban, right?
Should be urban.
Okay. I'll second that.
that'd be all inclusive, okay. Second by Fleischer, any further discussion?
Just one other question, how is it on the map, some of the property is described as town of Williamstown and some as village of Kikoski.
We went through this at last meeting.
Oh,
So there are 4 parcels that are in limbo. The property owners during the lawsuit, evidently did not want to be combined or merged with the village of Kikoski at that time.
Okay.
So they were left in limbo as being a town of Williamstown. Nolan has looked into it. He believes it's just a matter of, okay, they need to pick where they want to go.
Okay.
Whether they get annexed into the city or whether they get annexed into the village of Kikoski.
Pamela Gross wanted one of them, and this,
Gross, there's 2 property for Gross and, Letke, and then,
oh. Cross 28, though.
starts with an N, doesn't it?
Need,
Need.
Joe needs property.
So I don't know if they have been approached about annexing yet. So Nolan, like I said, is gonna be dotting all the Ts, crossing all the Is. As of right now, to meet the deadline though, we just need to, I'll reach out to Tom. We'll get these maps revised saying those parcels are to either be annexed, to be included in the urban area map, but they are to be annexed to either the village of Kikoski or the city of Mayville into their boundaries, so. And like I said, we'll get a revised map. We'll have, at the back of the packet there's a draft resolution that was provided by the DOT. I talked to Nolan about this. We'll end up getting that draft resolution and those maps so that it can be passed at the next plan commission meeting to be recommended to council for final approval.
okay, to the council, see it, yeah.
Nolan just wanted to make sure though that the resolution is drafted by the plan commission before it gets to council.
The motion on the table is they consider everything inside the Burgundy as urban area for Mayville. Motion was by Colomer, second by Fleischer. Any further discussion?
Well, I'll second the motion.
Oh, we got it.
You got it.
We're gonna, yeah, so just all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Now, do we need another one for the
Oh, now.
Slag Road?
Slag Road, so to answer the question, should Slag Road be urban or rural? I'd entertain a motion.
Make it urban?
My suggestion is urban.
Or do we want to just say where it beats the municipal boundary, consider it urban?
Would urban give us more options?
It's just a different funding mechanism.
Yeah.
So which program you apply for when you.
Does one come better than the other?
I don't believe so. I think they have different pools of money that they're drawing from.
Okay.
I mean, one's gonna be for all the cities, and then the other one's, I think cities and towns, and then the other ones, or wait, all the cities and then the towns and townships, and the from the rural section.
So, so the boundary is the center line of Slag Road,
Correct.
and that's all we have to say. We consider it clear.
Well, theoretically, right, it would be down, would still be down the center of the road.
But I guess the one thing I'm thinking too is in the future, if there's another entrance needed for the industrial park, something would have to be worked out with the village of Koski to redo that road at some point. Whether it be done just mill and repave or widen the road to accommodate any kind of semis or anything other.
Problem with that is if we say it's urban, Village of Koski says it's rural,
Yeah, then what?
and now they're going to do something with the road.
That,
Well, we just did repaving.
Yep.
Of that road not long ago.
2 years ago.
that was done in front of Meadowcraft.
Yeah.
And the costs were split on that.
Right.
So, I mean, I don't know. What do
I just don't-
Do we care which pool of money it comes out of for us or them? That's, you know,
Yeah. Honestly, it's something, it's just.
I could-
have
Something we could
issues
change easy
just
enough if need be.
calling the village and saying, do you guys have a thought on this? I think it's at least a way to gain consensus on a small level.
Still really would affect us either way or the other.
I could reach
If
out
we
to
included in the urban
DTT
development.
then too, and see if he's heard anything regarding
Yep,
Kikoski's review of it, so.
I would, yep.
Brock, aware of anything that would make a difference on that? Good, let's see that.
I mean, it is kind of almost clear as a bell that one side of the road is rural and one side is
Yeah.
not. Like, it's, I mean, there's what, 2 farmhouses on that whole one side of the road?
Yep.
And then factories and another full subdivision on
really.
The road serves industry
Yeah.
and also 2 rural lots on the other side of it.
Well, I mean, the only thing I can think of is the wild possibility that the farm across the street from Meadowcraft was next or built up or something.
Although I would argue that in, say, selling real estate, if somebody says they want to be out in the country in the rural area,
Yeah.
they don't want to be across from Meadowcraft, which makes
For sure.
that now an urban property.
Yeah.
So there is
There'd have
that
to be a lot of
perception.
growth before that would be have any appeal,
Right.
I think. Yeah.
But if you did want to be in the city, being across Meadowcraft or next to, those other houses across the street would be okay.
Right.
Your urban area.
So,
Nick, what do you recommend?
or you want to talk to Don and see if he has any suggestions based on the fact that it's kind of murky.
I could do that too.
Alright,
But do we need to say something now for council or,
do you need,
or make a motion for whatever they
Well, yeah, so
think
we,
to go to council?
have that motion. to
Well, it can't go
include-
to council, yeah.
Okay.
It's gotta come back.
Oh, it's gotta come back here and then,
Yeah,
okay.
right, yeah.
Gotcha.
so I think it would be acceptable or reasonable to take a motion to postpone the decision on Slag Road pending further information from. So I'd say postpone until the April 16th meeting on Slag Road.
We'll make a motion to postpone.
Motion by Fleischer, second by Shoemaker, all in favor? Aye. Before we adjourn, just quick question. I guess suspending the rules for a moment. In citizen comments, there was, a citizen, you'll see an envelope in there from Meredith regarding property, she wanted to have this read into the record. And I'm gonna read it into the record. Can I take a look at that, Gene, just read it in real quick? I wanna read it, well, first of all, just a motion to suspend the rules so I can read this into citizen comments.
I will so move.
Okay,
I'll second.
all right, motion by Collimer, second by Frings. This is a letter from Meredith Arnold, who had asked to have this read in. She was unable to attend in person. Meredith Arnold at 453 Alley Street, Mayville, dated March 15, 2024. This is to City of Mayville, regarding a request for corrective action on floodway fence located at 459 Alley Street in Mayville. I am writing to express my dissatisfaction on handling of the above captioned matter. In reviewing the records, I see that this matter has been dragging on for well over a year now with no resolution date in sight. Let's review the timeline. February 8, 2023, Meredith emailed the city as a follow-up to the conversation at City Hall, where she was advised that you can't build in a floodplain and that you did not think there were any floodplains in Mayville. And said I would send you what I had. So I emailed you my complaint along with the link that you could input the address to verify that 459 Alley Street is in fact in a floodplain. 5/8/23, city met with Ms. Babcock, and it was agreed that at this time, the bottom half foot of the fence would be replaced with chain link fencing. Item 3, January 7th, the city received direction from S. Rabajko of the DNR on standards for development of the floodway. 1/26/24, Mayor Gwynn visited to assess the situation. He's going to follow up with Rob Crow and the Mayville Planning Commission. February 7th, Meredith spoke with the city regarding the status and was told the property was set to be surveyed. February 8th, site was surveyed at each corner of the fence and a stake was placed showing the base flood elevation for reference on the removing the fence. And February 15, 24 was when the city first formally made written request to the owner that the bottom of the fence be removed to the base flood elevation. However, it did not include a required date for completion. Meredith goes on to say that she's totally dissatisfied. This ball has been dropped and bounced around so many times, unbelievable. The office erred when it issued the permit in the first place. This property is on a floodplain. Nevertheless, once the fence was built, my complaint made, your office should have completed the survey and placed the stakes for the VFE back in May 23. Also at that time, you should have issued formal written notice to the property owner to rectify the situation. It is outrageous that we're here a year later and the property owner is still not given a final date to have this completed. I do not believe that this matter has been handled in the same manner as other property code violations. I strongly believe that we are to review other code violations. We would find that there is a standard that is followed whereby owners are given a set amount of time to either comply or face penalties. I'm demanding that this property owner be given a required date of completion or else be subject to penalties. The property owner has given over a year of leniency. It's now time for them to comply. Rainy season is now upon us. In the event of flooding, we will have the unfortunate situation discussing who's responsible for property damages. Respectfully, Meredith Arnold. And then just for the record, I'm going to have this added to the agenda for April 16th for discussion. And with that, I would take a motion.
With the suspension of the rules, could you reopen public comments? I was late, I apologize, otherwise I.
Oh, yeah, that's what we should have done it first.
Yeah, we should. Yeah. Anybody opposed to letting Tom speak?
No, go ahead.
Yeah, please, Tom.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Yep.
I apologize for being late. And I'm here, Mr. Mayor, to address some comments that you made on social media that was brought to my attention by some of our potential tenants at Dayton. And I just need to get the record straight.
Sure.
So, and I have these, and like all things in social media, I don't know if they're truly yours, but that's how it was described to me. So I often take that, but I want to make sure we're straight. Just because it may impact our rentals. The first comment attributed to you as your fundamental belief is the city of Mayville should not bear the brunt of financial risk on real estate deals, period. I want to say we agree. That's why our TIF was a pay-go TIF. And that was what the developer requested when we did that, starting in 2020. We started here in the planning commission meeting. That's why I'm here tonight. So we agree. And I want to point out that there have been no public outlays or any money from Mayville contributed to the Dayton One project. There have been costs the city has associated through consultants, attorneys and financial advisors, minimal thousands of dollars that will be repaid by the tax increment. So City of Mayville has not spent any money out there. We have paid for the stormwater, the water, the sewer, the electric, the roads, everything out of our pocket. And most importantly to the city, which was important to them, is that everything downstream of Clark Street is on our tab to fix as well. So again, no subsidies on any of those things there. So zero risk to the city on that. If we don't build it, we don't get paid back. So it's that simple. The next comment was look at Dayton Street apartment project, another one of Belt Steel's. Consider that the developer is currently working in default and the city must work with the developer so it can cure its default. I want to be really clear, we're not in default. There is conflicting language in the development agreement about when it should be complete. And there are other things about when the tax increment should be done. And there was stuff in the development agreement that says we didn't have to go forward until we have found acceptable financing. And I want to remind everybody that when that development agreement was signed, the Fed funds rate was at 0.33%. And over the next 7 months, it went to 5.5%. And no banks were lending at that time. So we were delayed in getting our financials. I will say that we are 100% financed on that project. We have financing for all 54 units. We have put more than $1 million of equity into that prior to that. The project is on firm financial footing. The next thing is in that agreement, the first year's taxes of 2024, the increment called for us to provide $31,100 approximately. The city assessor went out there on December 31st of 2023, and the tax bill for 2024 is going to be $37,800 approximately. We are exceeding the increment that was in the agreement. We are exceeding the increment so much in the agreement that we have asked to redo it, and the mayor has been working with us to resolve that. To one, resolve the conflicting language about when things should be done and what prerequisites were needed for that. But more importantly, on that, because of the increase in cost and the delay in time and the increase in rents, that project's going to return $2.17 million to Mayville over the life of the TIF versus the original projection of 1.5. So you've already $600,000 up on that, and it's most likely based on the cost of construction and rent increases, it's only going to go up. There's a couple. The same developers come to the city multiple times asking for tax incentives and infrastructure investments to the city for 2 other projects that they barely made progress on the first one. Again, we've made tons of progress on the first one. We were supposed to be done with the first building December 31st. We have tenants moving in April 1st of this year. And again, we've exceeded the increment requirement out there. And again, the city isn't paying us anything for it. On those other ones, we met with you, Mayor. You asked us to look for additional residential lots in the city. We came to you with several ideas and the expenses that would need to be assisted with TIF. We did that at considerable cost to ourselves, tens of thousands of dollars. None of those were able to move forward. The city was not interested. We're fine with that. We are moving forward with the Clark Street one to create 5 residential lots rather than more than a dozen. And Leona Street is basically unbuildable without those easements or a new road there. I think we've established that. Next one, I am damn proud to have helped shut down these conversations. Heaven forbid I set an expectation that a developer must deliver on his prior commitment before coming back for incentive. I want to be clear, we have delivered. We've built those apartments. Our increment is greater. They're going well. We have 5 people that are going to start renting that as of April 1st, and we have another 9 showings that we're going to show. That project has been very successful. And I will point out, without TIF, it would not have happened. Because if you recall, I came before the group here and asked you all to sign an incentive signing over the TIF to the bank, which was the only way we could get a loan because of the rents being low here in terms of the cost of construction. So without TIF, it would not have happened. And then last one was the development, your partner. You want to partner with somebody financially strong, highly experienced developers, successfully complete a project. And then you added in time frame. We are months behind, but that is clearly because of the financing, and we've been clear about that and upfront about that. In terms of experience, my partner and I have more than 60 years of experience. We've completed billions of dollars of construction around the country. Happy to share my portfolio. We have built thousands of units around the country, all operating successfully. And then last one, I'll even say that my partner did most of the work in terms of getting the Mayville Library completely built on time, under budget, and completed, most importantly. The last thing I want to say is the reason I'm here in Mayville, you guys have a wonderful city. You have a thriving downtown. You have a whole bunch of recreational things. You have your own school district that functions very high. You have thousands of well-paid jobs, which allows those apartments to get built. Building those apartments was a risk for the city and for us because nothing has been built here recently. No market studies would prove out anything. My partner and I, along with the city, took a chance and we're really grateful for that. We think there's lots more opportunity here. We look forward to working with you all in the future. I appreciate you reopening the Commons. That's all I have. Thank you. Good night, ladies and gentlemen.
Right, thank you.
There we go. Motion to adjourn,
So move. Second.
all in favor?
Aye.